So you want to pick a card?
Okay, Steph and I are doing something a little different because we're together. And so Steph has chosen a deck of runes. Again, runes are cards with blessings written upon them. Which deck is this, Steph? It's beautiful.
This
It's
is the
giant.
Elfin Quest deck from Almin.
Who's Elfin?
The elfins are the little elves.
Ah,
Mhm. So they are bringing their magic and their guidance, and this Elfin Quest provides tremendous insight for the evolution of self.
hold on. Elf is short for elfin.
Elfin. Hmm.
I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna draw a card, and this is what we are going to share today. So we have no idea what's going to come up. Do I get to draw?
You're gonna draw, yeah, because I
So
shuffled.
fun. Okay, let me see here.
Perfect card will be drawn.
I'm starting to feel it. It's this one here. Okay.
Mesekla parehit. Parent your inner child so that its neediness may not eclipse the wisdom of your heart and the maturity of your spirit. I'm going to repeat it 2 more times. Parent your inner child so that its neediness may not eclipse the wisdom of your heart and the maturity of your spirit. Parent your inner child so that its neediness may not eclipse the wisdom of your heart and the maturity of your spirit. Mesekla parahi.
This is a good one.
Oh, it is. It is.
I think a lot of beings get confused about the inner child in general, but we always hear like a well-parented inner family, a well-parented inner child. But it's, in fact, even though it's like this yogi term, in fact, it's one of the most important keys that you can possibly master. So let's start by sharing what is the inner child and how do we access the inner child?
So in one of our first episodes, we touched on the inner family
Hmm.
and the inner family in inner space. And the inner child sits at the center, along with the inner babe, sits at the center of that space, surrounded by a whole family, all tones that are masculine and feminine, that parent this genius. The inner child is of a feminine tone and has access to the dreams and desires of your unique song, your heart. And when this being is well parented by all of the adult roles within you, the dreams will unfold beautifully as your experience in life. It will become a beautiful experience in your journey and adventure in life when the child is well parented. If the child is anyway neglected and or overindulged, as you would see with children in your environment and or I look at dogs as a perfect example. I always use them as a reference point. You will see tones of neediness, tight tantrums, feeling abandoned, etc. And you are now no longer aligned with the wisdom of the guidance in the moment because the tantrum eclipses it. There is no maturity of what is unfolding. The child is dictating without that wisdom the moment. And without the wisdom, what you're getting is a chaotic unfolding because a well-parented inner child with the guidance and the wisdom of the heart and the spirit, the family members, the parents within you, leads to an unfolding around you that is whole, that is peaceful, that is exciting in the adventure and supportive of the adventure, as opposed to possibly something that will cause a fall and or not be life affirming. Everything in the unfolding dream then becomes supportive.
And I think one of the most impactful ways to so-called well parent your inner child is to make sure that the inner child is inspired. This is what when we say or when someone says, do what makes your heart sing. Does that bring you joy? Does that inspire you? That is your inner child. And coming from experience, when I'm not working or doing a project that is in alignment with my little Monica, my inner child, and never is sustainable. It won't work to what I'm envisioning. It just doesn't work. Like doors slam in my face. This has been a lot of actually
Mhm.
my past work. I'll follow the money, or just because I'm good at something, I'll go that direction. But I wasn't tapping into my inner child to make sure that what I'm doing is really inspirational to little Monty, we call her. And when it is, it works out. When it isn't, it does not work. Like doors, I'm not joking, like slam at my face. And then I have to deal with the slam. I'm like, what's going on? It's because I didn't check in with little Monica. I didn't parent her well by asking her if this inspires her. It's only when you're living in your purest form of joy in your heart with what inspires you, which is your inner child, that things will seamlessly click, click, click and work out.
And I'm going to go deeper with that because, as you said, you check in with
Mhm.
the inner child and ask what makes your heart sing. A well-parented inner child will then be guided and given the tools, the nurturing environment provided by the mother, the nurturer, the wisdom of the sage, the the tones of the warrior, a masculine quality. It ensures that all that the child is wanting to experience can be engaged with, that you're engaging with what is in alignment, and what is not in alignment simply is cut away. So the child then knows at all times that everything in the environment is supportive.
Mhm.
Neediness only comes in. So I need to be loved. I need money. I need to be heard.
That sounds
All of those,
annoying.
correct. All of those things are illusions.
Yeah.
When you are a well-parented inner child, you know that you are all things,
Mhm.
that you have never left source, that all that you are, the dreams of your heart are here for you to express, that life is for you to live in joy and express from your fullness. So you're not in neediness
Mhm.
because you all of this is being granted at the same time. Therefore, the child isn't over expressing in an exterior illusion. The child is held in inner space by a balanced inner family supporting its desires, its every bit of expression. And that is key to bringing forth a life of boundless miracles, a life in which the solution is presented, the answer is always there in the moment, because the inner family is supporting the child. Neediness goes away.
Neediness is another form of lack, right? Like
Mhm.
you need something because you feel as if you're lacking it. And lack is an illusion. And it's something that we continuously dissolve. And that's why we do it. We disavow it. We dissolve it. Because once you truly believe that your being is your sustenance, you are source, you don't have lack, right? But I just wanted to clarify too, like neediness is lack.
Correct. You're under the spell of black magic that tells you that you are lacking, inadequate,
Hmm.
don't have enough of anything, including the ability to do something. And with that comes all of the other distortions of fear, anxiety, guilt,
Hmm.
shame. So it hooks you into do you see it's a continual ball of illusion that keeps you enslaved to the unreal. It's not real. You are all things. You are no thing. You are everything. There is nothing you need when you are in the wholeness and oneness of source. All is yours to draw upon. This is truth. In knowing this, therefore, there is no neediness, which has led to so many innocently moving through life with how can I get? I need this. How can
Mhm.
I get that? This is the model of how I can get that. As soon as you're looking to get something from life, you have stepped out of your true power and you are now in a reality of distortion.
Mhm.
When you are full and you are all things, you, and I bring it back to what we were talking about before, you are in the fullness of knowing you are all these things, from the stillness of experiencing the contentment of fullness, that you are fulfilled without desires, that you are so full, all is available to you. From the joyousness of this truth, you begin to stimulate this possibility. You've stepped in the full abundance of your being. The child is content. The true desires of the child manifest. In fact, those are the desires of the infinite expressing through you. It becomes a life of deep fulfillment in every moment. All of your life, quote unquote, needs are always met because life supports life. You have never been separated from that truth. You have been indoctrinated, duped into believing that that is not truth, that you have to do something, that you have to behave a certain way in order to be good, that you have to go about a specific type of model in order to get something. All of that pulls you further and further away from the truth that is deeply innocent and simple and allows for a beautifully glorious unfolding in the moment, in every infinite moment, because the moment is all that is.
And so how do we access our inner child in the first place? So I'll share how I access mine, and then Steph, you can share how I access mine. I have this photo of when I was a little girl on our farm in Michigan, and I was wearing these cute little Oshkosh Bagosh
Mhm.
overalls, a little striped sweater. I'm just standing there, and then maybe like two or three, platinum towhead, bright blue eyes, rosy little cheeks, rosy lips, and I'm just standing there. And that's my little Monica. So when I tune in, I shut my eyes, I just get still, quiet. I envision little Monica. I envision that photo that makes me feel like a kid again. And I ask, Monty, are you inspired by this? Do you want to do this? What do you think about this? And I interact with her like that, but I have this visual of who it is and what it is. And that's how I tune into little Monica. And the answer always presents. But that's how
Always.
I access her. And I know that you can also start by getting quiet and just thinking about your heart, like tuning into your heart, putting your focus and energy into your heart, and maybe envisioning who you were as a child, you know,
Mhm.
little stuff, little money, little you. And that's how you can really tune in and access your inner child. How do you do it?
Well, she's the boss. So I close my eyes and ask, does this make your heart sing? What makes your heart sing? What would delight you?
Hmm.
Does this feel inspiring to you? Is this enjoyable for you? And she guides me based on her prompting. She's the one that guides me as to whether she wants to do something, doesn't want to do something, it makes her heart sing. And then from there, the rest of the inner family, the nurturer, the warrior, they've all been balanced and developed. And we can go into this in other
Hmm.
segments. Create the supportive environment and all the details are tended to so that the next step in the unfolding moment based on the decision made by her, by what she's choosing to do, is perfectly curated for her so that every moment is an adventurous experience in the unknown of her interacting with the dream of life to refine more aspects of self. But the magic, the greatest magic of self, comes from the inner child. The truth of your heart's desires come from that innocence. It's a feminine quality. So that being is the boss. But in order for that boss to not go into neediness or tyrannical ownership of a reality, the adults within you, the adult family within you must nurture and support her. No different than in a household with parents and children. Parents are called to well parent a child at all stages in order for that child to be able to go through the stages of growth in the most supportive way, creating a home environment that is safe, inspiring, surrounded in beauty, with nurturance and stillness for when they have to sleep. So bringing forth tones of beauty and who they interact with. All of those tones are the responsibility of the adults. So the adults within you, is your home a home that inspires the little one within you in inner space? Because this is the key to the greatest magic. This is how you access the world of miracles in your life. Is your home curated and designed to support the innocence within you that brings calmness to your nervous system? Is it peaceful? Is is your routine through the day or what you're choosing to do throughout the day supportive of this being? When you begin to make choices in alignment with what is the most supportive for that innocence, you will see your life transform.
That's your inner child.
Correct.
That's your inner child.
And at that point, neediness will not be there because there is no external need. All is within. Everything,
Mhm.
the full abundance of life, the cup overfloweth, is always present. And now the promptings of the heart, which is the guidance in the moment by the one, is always there. And this wisdom of spirit, which is the sage and the high mind, the wizard, is always present as well. So at all times, you are being guided, you are being supported, you are being protected and held, you are being granted new forms of magic. Every aspect of the adult provides for the child. It starts within, and therefore it is also what is a perfect guideline for the structure of how the innocence in on earth, in life, in society, how children can thrive. If they are supported in every detail of their life, every child will thrive into sovereign adults in their own uniqueness.
So, tying this up with a pretty bow, envision what your inner child looks like, tap into the inner child, and keep asking the inner child if what you're doing inspires them
Let him and or her,
or they
they, be the boss.
enjoy.